Hey everybody, welcome to another video here on Sean Plays Guitars. Today we start All My Guitars, a series in which I chronicle all my guitars. Let's check out the 1978 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe. So as you can see from the intro there, this guitar is named Excalibur, the boy pulling the sword from the stone. Probably the most overused name for all guitars. However, my father and I felt like it was an appropriate title as it was his initially. He bought it in the late 80s on a really great deal. It was a closet classic situation. Got it from under the bed. And it has been with us except for one short stint ever since. Shout out to my stepmom for buying it back from whoever bought this thing off of my dad. This guitar was meant for me. I like to joke that even when it was his, it was always mine. When I was 2.5, 3 years old, I walked into my parents' bed or my father's practice room, and must have been 5:36 in the morning, and I figured out the switch for the Fender hot rod this thing was plugged into, and strummed some chords, and it was set very loud for band practice, so it woke everybody up, and my dad came running out. Nobody, you can't. And anyway, that was basically it ever since. Now, I did not always play guitar. I was not like a 6-year-old shredding tasty licks or anything. I did not start playing guitar in earnest until about 17 years of age. By the time I was 21, I was starting a band, and I had a guitar directly akin to this one, same model, and this was also a gift from my father at my high school graduation. So we had a discussion. I went down to Portland to visit him, and we had a discussion about how that guitar was not really serving the needs of a rock band. Now, part of that is my own fault. A Nashville Telecaster can serve the needs of a rock band, but I didn't know how to use it. Anyway, he said, well, I'll trade it to you for the Les Paul because I'm in a country band right now and I could use the Nashville Telly. And I said, no, you won't. What are you talking about? He said, no, seriously, I'll trade you for Excalibur. You can take the Les Paul and I'll take the Fender. And I said, bet. And this thing has been with me ever since then. Now, the only thing that has been changed on this guitar are the tuners. I changed them from whatever they were. I believe they were Grovers on there initially when I received it, but they were Shallers to start its life. So the tuners had already been changed, so I didn't feel any guilt in changing that. Now, these tuners are Planet Waves or D'Addario self-clipping tuners, and I changed the knobs to be a more traditional vibe. Everything else is original on this. The wiring, the pickups, mini humbuckers here. It is a 3-piece maple cap, and it is not a traditional Norland era pancake body. And I believe, because this was made in 1978, that this came out of the Nashville factory. They opened the Nashville factory around 74, 75, something like that, and they were dual producing guitars. And with the deluxe, specifically with the pancake body, I believe that that was happening in the Kalamazoo factory. I could be wrong, but I think this is a Nashville made guitar, one of the earliest runs made out of the Nashville plant. And it is a 3-piece maple. What did they do that? Mahogany, maple mahogany. I think it's a three stripe neck, and I love it very much. I have not changed the frets. It has those crazy low 70s wide frets, but they may even be stainless steel because they have not dented or anything, and I have literally played the ever loving crap out of this thing. So, yeah, lots of nice buckle rash and worming, and when it gets cold, the nitro cracks, and then when it warms back up, the cracks disappear. Really great, just lifelong musical companion of mine. So let's get into some clean tone, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, now the best part about mini humbuckers to me, the thing that I love the most, is that when you're in the middle position here, you get a really nice sort of Strat style sound. It's not exactly that because of the construction of the instrument in which the pickups sit, but for a humbucker, they really do sound like strat position for like, strat position 2, almost out of phase. The bridge humbucker is very thin when you're playing clean. So when I play clean, I almost always have it on the rhythm because it's just a much more sultry, soulful kind of thick sound. But when you turn on high gain, which you'll hear in a moment, the bridge really comes out of its shell. It stands out. It's great for rhythm, which is funny because we use this poker chip should be flipped around, but it's fun for lead, but for rhythm, the treble, the bridge pickup with a lot of gain is fantastic. So that's kind of how I like to use it when I hit leads. I like to go up to here, play around in the middle section a little bit, depending on what type of a song we're doing. But for clean tones, we're almost always in the rhythm position because it just is much thicker. So I did forget to mention I changed the knobs here. I have the original knobs, fear not, but I thought these, the reflector caps looked a little more era correct, very 70s. But I do have the original knobs still, and I'll be holding on to those in case I ever get tired of this look or want to go back. I've been on the lookout for a set of the Schaller tuner, but look how many tuners have been on this thing. Look at all the holes. Hold on, let me see if I can get a good shot. Look at all the holes back there. Yeah. But I've been on the lookout for a pair of like OG tulip tipped Schallers. They have them sometimes online, like period correct, but they are very expensive, so I have not yet purchased the set. Anyway, let's get into some dirty tones, and then we'll end the video, and we'll just talk about what's coming up next. So, what is the goal of this series? Well, to have fun. I want to play all my guitars. I want to celebrate my guitars. I want to enjoy my guitars. I want to avoid gas. By the way, shameless plug, if you haven't checked it out already, our first podcast is Only Frets is out. That's Jonathan from Electric Flamingo and I. And we talk about gas in that episode. And I am a very sentimental person. I'm a sentimental guitarist. And every guitar in this room means something different to me. I fall in love with these instruments very easily. Um, they all mean something different and a lot to me for various reasons. This one, based on my story I explained earlier, is very obvious why I love this guitar. So, part of avoiding gear acquisition syndrome has to be for me to celebrate what I already have. I think it's very important to me, maybe not to everyone. Maybe getting the most amount of guitars you possibly can in a lifetime is the goal, and I respect that goal, and I am jealous of that goal, and my father has passed his gas on to me, and I fight it every day. So this video series here is a bit of an attempt to just subdue the need to buy more gear, to sort of immerse myself in what I have already. Um, should you care about my guitars? No, but you might, because you're a guitarist. You love guitars, and maybe you think it's interesting that something from the Norlin era doesn't have a pancake body. Um, and I just feel like maybe sharing the stories of documenting the stories of my guitars, my guitar journey along the way, and when they were used, and how they were used, and why I own them might be a fun thing to explore. And this can go over many episodes. So we're going to do every single one of my guitars, and hopefully by the end of the series we will culminate in a new acquisition. So stick around for more uh, guitar stories, if you will, and I will be chronicling and demoing every single one of my guitars that I have, talking about everything that makes up their existence. So thanks for coming by. Please stay tuned for more episodes of All My Guitars. And don't forget to join us live on Wednesdays at 11 PST for Only Frets, where we talk all things guitars. And until then, plug that thing in and play it.